the 6 months in court really made me, a completely new person. I have to share something here. Maybe to some people it will be a little inappropriate, but I think it's very important to talk about your weaknesses. I've always had good habits, but I had one bad habit before this whole thing happened to me. I used to smoke, okay, and to give my husband company, because he wanted me to give him company when I met him, because I would not drink and I've never done drugs in my life, and so I basically was just, because I'm not much of a drinker, was giving my husband company with smoking. And when this court case happened to me, the first day that I went to court, the litigation started, I said to myself, I'm going to prove that I have no crutches. I'm going to quit overnight, and I'm never going to touch a single cigarette in my life again, And that's what I did. I quit. I never touched a single cigarette in my life, and I didn't use it as an excuse to say that, I'm stressed out and I need something. So don't depend on crutches. You have to depend on yourself if you want to fight your battles. If you're going to depend on something else to fight your battles, you're never going to win, something else or someone else. So I'm sharing this information with you because it's important that each one of us knows what we are. We're not here trying to impress another. You have to know who you are and be real, Saying this, I went forward, and had I not split from this partner of mine, I split with him in October 2012. In June 2013, I opened my own manufacturing unit because by then I had every information about manufacturing. And in November 2013, I signed my first contract with Tanishq, the Titan Group, to manufacture and design jewelry. So I think that all these, these ups and downs in my life have been, especially the downs, the setbacks have been stepping stones to success, because had I not been pushed to the wall, I would have never learned or wanted to get out of that. I'd be very comfortable, and so I thank the guy who did this to me, and I pray for him every day. He must be thinking I hate him, but I adore him for doing what he did to me, because had he not done this, I would have never changed as a person. I've still been smoking, which is a very bad habit, and now I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. I'm a very boring person. I only work and work out, okay?
No, that's fantastic, Farah, because you design now for Tanishq, you design for Karat Lane, and it's nice that you're designing those kind of jewelry that women can buy online. I mean, that's not very expensive, and some of us also get trapped in this whole legacy. How you were talking about your mother said that she'll give this to one daughter and this to something else, and we have all this jewelry which is bequeathed to us, and we are scared to recycle it, and you're never going to wear it. You know it. That is not, that's not what you are. Like, that's like really, really, sometimes it's Madrasi gold, it's like this shiny jewelry that you have. And what do you feel? Like, should women go ahead and recycle their jewelry, or should they just?
I think jewelry should never be kept in your lockers, so you must definitely wear it, because what's the point of having it, unless. There are lots of people who also come to me and show me some jewelry which is very ancient and which is passed on from generations and has a beautiful look because it's antique. I would then recommend do not melt those pieces, because for me those moments, even the craftsmanship and the workmanship is very, very unique. I'm one of those people who's, most people ask me, how come you're this jeweler? Because if something doesn't look good on someone, you actually tell them it doesn't look good. You're not trying to push it. But I can't, I need the thing to look good on you. So if it doesn't look good on you, nobody is going to like it and nobody is going to come to me. So I'd rather tell you honestly, it's not looking good on you. And yes, I would tell customers, recycle some of your jewelry.
Correct.
But some antique pieces definitely keep, because at the end of the day, there are some memories attached. And you may not wear them, but fashion keeps coming back. So one day you will wear them,
So Farah, coming to your personal life also, you are part of you have four of you, and somewhere you said that your mother taught you guys to complement each other. Like she never compared you, or you weren't critical of each other. How does that happen? Like how do siblings don't allow rivalry, which is so integral? I have 3 daughters, and I have twins, and I have an older one who's 14.
Wow.
And you have to be all the time, you have to step back, whenever they fight. And how do you ensure that your children at the age of 40 will, look back on each other, will be each other's support system? Because that's what, you have kids for, that's why I had kids, to have, support systems and somebody you can nurture your life with, somebody you can live your life with. So what would you like to, what makes you guys bind?
I would have to definitely give the credit for us being so close to my parents, because one is, as we're growing up, most mothers you meet are always praising their daughters, saying, oh, you're my princess, oh, you're my beauty, and one day a prince is going to come and get you, and blah, blah, blah. My mother, when we're growing up, was like, never think you're the most attractive woman in the world, because you're not. There are like 100 million women better looking than any one of you. And I think when your own
she was wrong on that, right?
But I think when your own mother is taking away all the vanity that you can have, you don't have any vanity. So none of us actually focused on how we looked. It was more about how you thought. She kept saying, beauty is what beauty does. It's not about, how you dress, how you look. It's more about what you feel, what you can do. It's kindness, it's caring, it's sharing. And I thank her for that. And she always said, no matter what, you must stick together. So till today, you'll be shocked that my siblings and I'm not joking, on this water that I drink, we sign documents off to each other without even reading it. Because though we fought as kids, I love my siblings. I will give up my life for them. If they gave me any document and said sign it, unlike all the other legal documents that I read word to word, character to character, with my siblings, no, I don't, I just sign it off, and they do the same with me. And I think that's because my mom also told us, and my dad, never love things that cannot love you back. Right. Relationships are more important than things, because things can be replaced. People can't be replaced. So values were different. Values were not on how big your diamonds are, or, oh, she has such a big diamond, you need to get it. It was more like, be kind, be generous, help someone. People don't look at your glass being half empty, look at it being half full. The moment you feel you don't have anything, think of someone who has less than you. So I think our values is growing up. And I was telling somebody recently, I said even today we live in times where people are so, oh, you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, you're a Christian, you're a Sikh. For me, we celebrated all festivals. We came, in my family, they're Hindus, they're Muslims, they're Christians, they're Sikhs, they're every caste you can think of. And for me, Diwali was less about the Durga Pujas, the Lakshmi Pujas, and more about the mithais and the firecrackers. Eid was less about going to the mosque and praying. It was more about biryani and celebrations. Christmas was more about partying. And I love, by the way, Christmas is my favorite festival, but New Year's more than anything else, because it just involves partying and not greeting anyone. So it was more like parties. And so all these festivals were more about celebrations than about religion, about who does what. We were never taught to see differences in people. We were always taught to see people on the whole. And I thank my mother and my father for that, because till today, I find it a bit odd when people point out the differences, because, we're all different, but so we have 5 fingers in our hands and we still make one hand. And that's what we should be. We are, even the leaves on a tree, imagine if all were the same shape, how ugly the tree would look. The tree looks beautiful because there's so many different shapes, and
I know. I think that it's when you love unconditionally and there's an inherent trust.
Yes.
That you enjoy amongst siblings, that you can live, you can have that kind of support structure that you have. And, we all, it's good as siblings, but what happens when the husbands come in or the wives come in? And how did you guys, make it into a bigger family? And
I think we were fortunate enough to marry people who realized who are also very family oriented. So, family has been really important. Even till today, my sister Suzanne's divorced, but we still get along with Ritik, and they still talk because there are children involved. So it's not like, oh my God, now you're divorced, you can't talk. In fact, my sister celebrates Ganpati every year, even though she's not married to the Ritik anymore, and she's supposed to be a Muslim. So this is what I'm trying to say. We don't think like, you know, we have to only do one thing and not the other. We're doing everything encompassing, you know.
Right.
As far as my brother-in-law Ajay, he has D-Decor, the largest furnishing company in the world, actually. He's very family-oriented, and I think they encourage the women to work. And so we're lucky, because even my own husband, it's never like, we never needed permission to work, because it was never looked upon like permission. It was very understood that you have to work. You can't sit at home waiting for me to come back and ask me questions like, how was your day? What do you do? Can we go out? You know, I'm bored. It was more like you just have to keep yourself busy. And it's so important. In fact, my husband and I, we never get into a fight, because every time we want to fight, one of us is on a flight. So by the time we want to fight, we've forgotten the fight. And I think it's healthy.
So distance is very important.
Yeah, and especially as you grow older. I don't know, how, you know, lots of you here look like you've been married for a longer time. Yes, you know, it's nice when you're newly married to have 1 to 5 years together, your honeymoon years, where you're only interested physically in each other and nothing else. But when you, over the years, you know, there's so many more facets that open up in your life, and you need to feel good about yourself, because if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to feel good about your children, you're not going to feel good about your husband. And that's one of the reasons I actually work out. I work out not because I'm standing to be Mrs. World or Miss Universe. For me, if I feel strong and if I can go through the day without any oohs and ahs, I'm going to be a happier person. If I'm a happier person, I'm going to make my loved ones happy. So fitness to me is more about feeling happy than trying to prove to someone, you know, that look, I'm so slim, or look, I'm so strong. And I always tell people, when you work out, you know, a lot of people think workout is just going to the gym. There's a whole science involved to it, because your body is a chemical composition, you know, and you have to treat it right. You have to respect your body. So when you're working out, say, biceps, most people just go to the gym and lift, and Dharmesh will probably pay attention to what I'm saying. Most people just go to the gym and they feel like, okay, because the instructors don't know much, and they're just going, I did 10 lifts of biceps today. But when you're working out your arm muscle also, any muscle in your body, you need to breathe through your core. If you don't breathe through your core, you're not connecting. If you're not connecting, your bicep is really not working out. So you go and you take your core and you breathe in, and when you exhale, you breathe out. Very important to find the right fitness person. It's not just about, you know, lots of people go to the gym with makeup, lots of people go to the gym to have a chat. Fitness should be a way of life, like brushing your teeth in the morning, or like having a bath. You know, it should not be something that you have to take time out of. It should be something, if you don't do, it's like your day is not complete, you know. And it's not just healthy body. A healthy body is a healthy mind. A healthy mind, you know, you're not going to fight with your husband so much, you know, because you're going to look so good that your husband's going to worry about you as to why you're looking so good.
Right.
So these things are really important, and it also helps you be happier with your children, with your husband, with your family. When you're fit, you have energy. When you have energy, you have so much you can give. And people usually want to be with people who give them positive energy. Think about it. If you have 2 friends and one is really complaining day in, day out, and one is happy, you want to go see the happy person. You feel bad for the person who's complaining. You say, okay, you know, I wish things become good for you. I pray for you, but you don't want to go spend your whole day with the person. So be the person you want to be with.
Right.
You know.
I think that was one of the questions which you know, a lot of us had, that how do you keep fit, and you've said that it's become an integral part of your life, and it's not only just you know, keeping fitness, it's part of your life.
Right.
And I'll just end something like this, Farah. I don't know if you want to talk about something else, but
my kids, you wanted to ask me.
Yeah, okay. Your kids, how
is there some music happening?
Yeah, I think
some music happening.
Can we have the music off, please? I think it's the house music. I think they're playing the house music.
They're very rustic venues, they're not very
Okay. No, all of you asked me the question when I walked in was about how do I manage my life, my kids, my husband, my family. I think I actually prioritize what is important to me. Socializing is not important to me, though it's important to my line of work. If I don't go out, people, don't interact with me. Maybe I have less sales or whatever, but it's not necessary to go out every day. For me, it's really important to connect with myself, and if I don't connect with myself, I can't connect with anyone. My kids are my number one priority, and so what I do is I try to schedule my time around my kids. I may not spend quantity time with my children, but I end up spending a lot of quality time, and I end up talking to them about the kind of people they should be. And I think that helps, because at the end of the day, children are not going to remember whether you fed them or gave them a bath, which we did when they were younger, but they're going to remember the ideas you exchanged and when you were there for them when they needed you. And I think that's really important, to be for them when they're not well, when they're in trouble, and to tell them that you stand by them through thick and thin and become their best friend, So that's what I do with my children. So I go to work, I wake up at 6:30, 7 in the morning. I go to the Pilates class at I spend some time with my kids first before they go to school. Then I go to my Pilates class at 8 o'clock. From 8 to 9 I have my Pilates class, then I'm at work around 10:30. Then I work from 10:30 to 7:30, 8 by the time I'm home. And then with my kids, I spend time with them from 8 to 9:30, sometimes 10, depending on their thing. But in that time I spend with them, whether it's my family or my parents or my children, I give a lot of myself. And then post 10:30 is my time with my husband, but my husband's traveling a lot, so it's my time. And I go to bed by about 11:30, 12. So that's my day.
It's a long day.
It's a very long day.
It's a long day. Yeah. So Farah, just to wrap up the whole thing, today, a lot of celebrities are taking stands on national and social issues, and sometimes they do, get into trouble because of that. It's nice when celebrities do take a stand, because we look up at celebrities as role models, and somebody's, whose voices we would like to hear. What do they feel about it? And what do you feel about celebrities taking stands? Because they do have, there is a financial repercussion which we've seen, which happens with them.
I think it's very important for everyone to have an opinion, and that's what's called freedom of expression. If your freedom to express is suppressed just because of who you are, I mean, there are lots of people even on Twitter tell me, you're not a politician, don't get involved. And I want to say, I am a citizen of this country and I have an opinion, and I'm going to voice it just like you have an opinion. I'm not going to be mean to them, and I'm not going to, abuse someone or call them names. So I think it's very important for anyone to have an opinion, and we have to be tolerant to people having opinions, whether we like it or we don't like it. Absolutely. Maybe I don't like the opinion, but I have to listen to the opinion and say, I don't agree with you, but this is my opinion. But you can't tell me to go to hell, So right. I think it's very important for known people to voice themselves without thinking of the repercussions of whether, it's going to harm my business, because if you do that, then you're allowing voices that don't matter, that don't contribute to the economy. I pay a lot of taxes personally, not company. Company is separate. So it angers me if someone tells me that you can't have an opinion. Why not? I'm paying a huge amount of tax compared to lots of people. So I should have that opinion. So it's very important, if you are a contributing citizen, especially, you must have an opinion.
Irrespective,
Yeah, irrespective. But more so if you are a contributing citizen, because at the end of the day, you are a voice that people would want to know, and you should not think that it's going to affect my. Lots of times I've spoken on social media, and people have said, why do you want to get into it? Our business will be affected, blah blah. But it's not about business being affected. You
right.
have to say what you feel. Everything's not about money. And if everything becomes about money, we're going to live in a very, very sad economy, a very sad country. We have to think of helping people who need help.
I know, and sometimes it's, one of the things that we keep talking about when we started the Women's Wing is that, even outside our families or inside our families, women are scared to voice their opinions. They look at male voices to, voice their opinions. And it does put you in a, you need to come out of that fear and start voicing it irrespective, because if you don't, as you rightly said, the voices that don't matter will be hearing more. So maybe with that.
But I also want to say that, remember, you don't have to shout the loudest to be noticed, because you strain the most when the voices are the softest. Yeah, you strain your ears the most to listen to the softest words. But it's very important to say what you mean, and you don't have to get your way with dominance or aggression. You can get the same thing just by being reasonable and being factual and having a point, an earnest point. So as women, I'm all for equality, but I'm not, I don't say that women should be dominating and should not be aggressive, because the beauty of us women is the softness, the femininity that we have. And that's something that we must always hang on to, or there will be no difference between us and men. Men are dominating by nature, more aggressive by nature, and it's our duty as women to soften that part of men, because that's a biological fact. It's not something that women are more emotional, more sensitive. Men are not, and we can actually, they say, behind every successful man there's a woman, because she is actually making him happy, contributing to it, and at the same time earn your respect. If you're going to demand your respect, you're not going to get it, and you can only earn your respect